What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from our big NCAA basketball show. Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's have a big Friday. Start the weekend right, full of cash. Number 12 ranked Oklahoma State, 19-7, 11-7 in conference versus Baylor, 22-1, 13-1, Big 12. I can't wait to hear you break this game down, Max. We're at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's see what we are dealing with here. We have Baylor opening up as 9.5-point favorites. Let's move down to 9. This total opened up at 151.5. It's dropping 150 and 150.5 on the board. Let's start with Oklahoma State. After losing at Baylor 81-70 last Thursday, Oklahoma State beat West Virginia twice in a row in very impressive fashion. Today in the quarters, they turned the ball over 20 times, but they maintained their composure and took care of business. This sloppy play seems to follow them around. They average 16 turnovers a game. Possible number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Cade Cunningham went for 17 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. Avery Anderson went for 17 points. He went for 31 in the game that Cade missed, that first win over West Virginia. This is a dangerous team that is building confidence and now gets another shot at Baylor. They hit 46.6% from the field, 33.8% from 3, and 71.1% from the stripe. Baylor did not look very convincing in their Big 12 opener against a weak Kansas State team today. And I'm not sure how much to read into that. And I'm going to let Max handle that. The top-seeded Bears came in after their first regular season conference title since 1950. 3 straight wins over ranked teams. A number 1 seed in the tourney pretty much locked up. And they turned the ball over 21 times. And also, Maceo Teague had 24, David Mitchell 23, Jared Butler 18. So the Bears starting backcourt and 3 leading scorers scored all but 9 of the Bear points. Baylor has not looked nearly as dominant since that 3-week COVID pause they had to take. They seem to struggle with big men. But as usual, they shot the ball so well. 53.1% from the field and 40.9% from 3 against Kansas State. On the season, they had 49.7% from the field and 42.9% from 3. Even when they play badly, they shoot beautifully. Max, take it away. Big 12 semifinal, Oklahoma State, Baylor.
Jim, the problem with doing and betting conference tournaments is sometimes you got to go to those teams that just cost you money. And when I look at those Oklahoma State Cowboys, I'm like, you talented sons of bitches. You're smart enough to go to Canada and recruit Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Bravo. Wonderful job. But then you freaking screw me over in the West Virginia game. So this is why you have your own numbers. You look at your numbers and you're like, oh, there's 2 points of value with Oklahoma State. So listen, Baylor looks vulnerable, Jim. You nailed it right on the head. The problem is with what Oklahoma State wants to do schematically against you on offense is spread you out and then take someone to the rim. Well, Baylor doesn't really allow you to do that as easily as other defenses do in the Big 12. So you're going to need Avery Anderson. And what we saw from Avery Anderson today was obviously a good double-digit scoring performance, but when it came was in the second half when Oklahoma State needed it most. So this is a group that definitely has a lot of different guys that can bring you that outlier performance and cash you a ticket. I think that with Bryce Williams and his 3-point shooting, that's another weapon right there. And then with Isaac LeCayley back, he didn't really do much, but he got a real big offensive rebound that led to a 3-point bucket that ended up helping them win the game. So I think that with Oklahoma State, they haven't matched up well against Baylor, but Baylor's definitely shortened their rotation. And I think that there's going to be a little bit less reliance on the bench, and Coach Drew is going to run out with his three big guards. I think that with Oklahoma State, though, the difference is going to be the front court, the area that Baylor struggled with, like you mentioned. I think that Caleb Boone, Matthew Alexander Moncrief both have to stay out of foul trouble. I think that there has to be a concerted effort from Cade Cunningham to go in and get rebounds and to really be a thorn in Baylor's front court side. I think that when you look at this number, it's not a good number for Baylor. I think that if you play possum in the first half and come out blazing in the second half like you did against West Virginia, you are playing with fire. You are playing a much more efficient offensive team. I recognize that. But with the turnovers, against K-State, that was definitely eye-opening. I will say with K-State, though, they do have, I would say, not gypsy magic, but they do have two Canadians in Izagu and freaking Rudy Williams. So it is understandable why they're able to stay in it. But I'm just a little bitter because I had 6.5 and they only won by 6. In this game, Jim, I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I think that they're going to be very good with their shot selection. They're going to lock down on the 3-point line. They're going to spread the floor and have some success driving to the rim. And if they own the defensive glass like they're capable of, I just don't see Baylor getting those extra possessions to burn you with those open threes on the wing. So Oklahoma State +9, and I'll be content with that.
And you got it. Oklahoma State +9 -110 available at FanDuel. There is a one at 9.5 at -120, but I can understand.
Yeah, no -120s. Please.
There you go. Oklahoma State +9 -110 available at FanDuel. What an interesting breakdown.